Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your sick as fuck Travel God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday night video. And it's Wednesday night, you know what that means. We got AEW Dynamite coming up in at the top of the hour from San Jose, California. Should be a good show. We got FTR and the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, teaming up against them Bucks. That's the funky chicken himself, Mark Briscoe, and the Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Should be a great six-man tag team match tonight. And a whole lot more on your 2+ hour Cure for Insomnia, and that's AEW Dynamite. And it is the go-home show before this Sunday night's first pay-per-view of the year for AEW, Revolution. You say you want a revolution. Okay, I'm not gonna sing that. But it is what it is. So, go-home show tonight before Revolution on Sunday. So, we'll see what happens with that. We got a, they got like a press conference or some press thing with Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF, the AEW World Champ, and the Hangman, Adam Page, about to do some cowboy shit tonight. We got that. We got Claudio Castagnoli, the Swiss, and Jon Moxley, the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion, taking on, I think, Takeshita and Ikeshito in a tag team match player. We'll see what happens with that. And like I said, a whole lot more, tonight on Dynamite. But thank you all for watching on this Wednesday night, March the 11th, 2026. We're about a week away from the official start of spring. Not gonna feel like it most of tomorrow, and definitely Friday, and then definitely on St. Patrick's Day, it's gonna feel like winter again. Ugh. It was 80 degrees today, and now going downhill. It's gonna be like 61 tomorrow and drop fast. So like by this time tomorrow, it'll be like 35, 40 degrees. So say goodbye to those 80s for about a couple months. So that sucks. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Might get some snow. I don't think we're gonna get any here in my neck of the woods, but Thunder Boomers coming tonight. That should be fun around 9 o'clock. There's also a earthquake, I think it was yesterday, but basically didn't feel it here in my neck of the woods. It was basically in Yonkers and in the Bronx, like 2.3 magnitude earthquake. So basically, that was it. Somebody fell down, No, it wasn't Rosa, but it is what it is. I digress. So we got that. So lots of good stuff. I hope you had a great day on your Wednesday. I had a terrible day. I'm sick. I am bleh right now. Coming off the shingle shot. Feeling it today. Feeling it since 4 o'clock this morning. I barely got any sleep. So I came home from physical therapy. Tried to take a nap. Took about an hour and a half nap. Got up. Still in a lot of pain. Headache. My head is about to explode. Oh. Yeah. When it happens to you, I'm going to do the same thing. So kiss my rosy red ass, Mahoney. And that's that. But I'll get through it. Hopefully this goes away by the weekend, and I can enjoy my weekend plans, which I may not have any. So we'll see what happens with that. But we got AEW Revolution on Sunday. We got Triple Rey de Reyes on Saturday night on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, Stand and Deliver will be on YouTube April the 4th, beginning at 7 p.m. Now, all the pay-per-views are going to be going to ESPN, and that's going to be in the fall, but the exception is going to be Stand and Deliver in a couple weeks, April the 4th. That's pretty damn nice. You get that for free. So, can't wait for that. Stand and Deliver, free on YouTube. Every pay-per-view should be free on YouTube. Fuck that. Fuck Peacock, fuck HBO Max, and all those other garbage websites you have to pay for. So I don't have to pay for anything, so especially in New Japan. So, and Ring of Honor. But I digress. But anyway, we move on with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, really quick, before we get to Dynamite, let's talk about last night. And it is time, right here on the Peter Joseph channel. I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And if you like it, great. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but you leave stupid comments, you'll get slapped severely and then taken to the Shadow Realm. And then Ozzy and Satan will beat you severely too, and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go on somebody else's channel, go on your boring channel and do it there, because you ain't gonna do it on mine. You don't like it? Tough cookies. And don't forget to share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And hit that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, you're SOL. You better know what that means by now. I think we all know. But if you don't, too bad for you. And for our newbies out there, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax. You grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. We got Powerade Orange here. I was drinking water before. Now I'm drinking some electrolytes because I'm hot. I'm dehydrated. I'm a mess. But it is what it is. So I'm drinking that for now. Might have some Pepsi later for dinner. I don't know. I might have some soup later. I'm not feeling great to have any. I had pizza for lunch, and I feel like I'm going to regret it, but it is what it is. I have to eat, you know. So I might make some soup. Might have some soup, or might make some mac and cheese later. Or just have a regular sandwich. Sandwich! You know, Rose will make me a sandwich. Beef, you know what I mean. But I digress. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after almost 7 minutes of spiel, which you clipped and I don't give a fuck, it is time for your NXT thoughts, you understand? Thoughts! And from last night, March the 10th, 2026, and as always, we are emanating from the Capitol Wrestling Center in the parking lot of Nickelodeon Studios in Orlando, Florida. Alright, we're done with Vengeance Day. We're on our road to Stand and Deliver in St. Louis, April the 4th, live on YouTube. We got a couple pit stops to make this Tuesday night. We're going to Houston, Texas. Scare them Cowboys that night. And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to be in the greatest arena of them all, Madison Square Garden, at the theater, the lovely theater in Madison Square Garden for Roadblock. That's March the 31st, and that's the go-home show before Stand and Deliver. So we got that. And we're getting to WrestleMania. Almost there. We're almost there, about a month away. Can't wait for WrestleMania, even though it's gonna suck, but I digress. 2 weeks away from baseball, you gotta love that. And to Team USA, bye-bye, so long, farewell. Good for you. How do you lose to fucking Italy? That boggles my mind. Hey, Canada got in. So, you know, they could play spoiler, but I still think it's going to be Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic again. We'll see what happens with that, as the World Baseball Classic should be winding down in about a week or so. And the exhibition game should be winding down by the end of next weekend. And that's pretty much it. They were doing some stuff at Citi Field today. I think they're moving in or moving back the wall. It's not bad. We'll see. Alright, baseball is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot wait for that. Free agency for NFL. Big time news there. Max Crosby. Well, you're not coming to the Ravens, so goodbye. Trey Hendrickson is now on the Ravens. See if the Niners can get some, they got some decent pickups, you know, maybe to get that guy from the Cowboys, but, you know, could him and Bosa on that defensive line. Woo! If we could get Dre Greenlaw back, it'd be nice. Maybe Debo! Whoa! Brandon Ayuk's about to go bye-bye, you prima donna. Fuck you, get out of here, go to the fucking Commanders. With Juwan Jennings, because I think he's going there too. So lots of stuff going on in the wonderful world of sports. But let's talk about another sport, and that's the world of professional wrestling, which is a sport. Alright, so NXT last night, pretty good show. And as always, our commentary team, the man with a creepy jacket, lots of candy for those kids, because you know he loves those kids. Vic Joseph and the man who's getting a appreciation night next week. A man from Houston, Texas, the two-time, that's 3 times, but I said it 3 times. Excuse me. The 2-time Hall of Famer, 6-time World Heavyweight Champion, Hall of Famer, the Kool-Aid Man himself, Black Snow, otherwise known as Booker T, sucker! Oh yeah, man smokes more fucking weed than you do combined. So let's get that. Alright, so like I said, we're done with Vengeance Day. We're on the road to Stand and Deliver. We got a few pit stops along the way in the next couple weeks. So let's start. Alright, so we got a long as fuck Vengeance Day recap. And then we get the new Women's North American Champion, the creepy girl herself, Tatum Paxley. Start off the show. And for the longest time, she felt like she was doing everything wrong, but she kept winding up alone. All her friends pretty much backstabbed her. And she won the North American title last weekend because of all the fans. They made her want to keep going. Now she has the confidence that she belongs in NXT. And she won the title. She won the title, the women's title for the Cuckling, but now she won the North American title for the people. She did it for the lock. She did it for the people. She did, shut your fucking face, you fucking fat fanny. Anyway, Rikishi. Anyway, I did it for the lock. Okay. Alright, then the former champion, Bookie Hogan 2.0, brother, Izzy Hogan, Izzy Dame, comes out, packs it like, go away, you dumb bitch! It's been going on since Halloween Havoc. Jeez. Was it 6 months? Go away, bitch! Damn! Comes out, we see a big highlight package of Tatum's failures over the years before she turned goth. When she was just green as fuck. And then Izzy calls Tatum painfully fake and a weirdo outcast because, this is just a mask. I want to see the real Tatum. And eventually, that unlovable girl would come out again, and Izzy's like, I want my title back. And then Shawn Spears and Nico, they appear on the apron, cause a distraction. Izzy hits a powerbomb to lay her out. But that's not the last time we see of them, because Izzy, later in the show, attacked Izzy in the back. They go to the parking lot, they fight, and then Robbie E, the interim GM, says, alright, that's it. You and you will do this a third time for the Women's North American title, but not in any ordinary match. We're going to put you girls in a steel cage, brother! So, steel cage match for the Women's North American title next week on the program. It's going to be brutal. I hope Tatum retains. I would hate for them to play hot potato again. With all these titles, I'm playing hot potato. Why? Let's see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, so that segment I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, we go to the locker room, the men's locker room. We have absolute Ricky Starks. And ego, Ethan Page. They're upset over their losses at Vengeance Day. Ricky says they're both naked now. That sounds weird. You're naked. Oh! I don't see your dick. Get out of here. Anyway. Ethan doesn't like that visual. Yeah, I bet. But they're ready to get the win in on the main event tag team match against the NXT World Champion, that guy named Below Average Joe Hendry, and the new NXT North American Champion, Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. Then it's off to Stand and Deliver to become two-time champions. Now we'll see what happens with that. Move on. 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, they're going to triple threat match with the Pasta, my good buddy the Pasta. LFG Season 1 winner, and that's the Pasta. Jasper Troy takes on Sean Legacy and Eli Knight. LA Knight's homie. Not related, but they're homies. From Evolve. Pretty good match. At one point, they send Pastor Troy to the floor, and then out of nowhere, Obafemi 2.0, Kiana Carver comes out, choke slams Jasper through the announcer's table, it obliterated, and then he goes right up to Booker T, starts yelling at him. Oh boy. After what happened with Booker T and Keanu on Season 2 of LFG, where Booker T kicked him out, so get the fuck out of here! And then they brought him back like a year later. A year or so later. So that situation is going on. So anyway, we go to break, we come back, And eventually, Pastor Troy gets back into the match, does some damage. A double Samoan drop, that was crazy, even though his ribs are all banged up. And then Shawn Legacy has to make the save on a pinfall. On a black hole slam. A 450 from Shawn Legacy into one hell of a moonsault. That was damn impressive by Eli. And they go for the pin at the same time, and they pin him, so a double pin on Jasper Troy. Weird, but okay, we'll go with that. 12-minute match. It was pretty good. 3 out of 5 stars. And we move on. So I think we're going to get Tiana Carver and Jasper Troy in a feud. So that should be fun. That should be fun. Big meaty men slapping meat. You gotta love that. We move on. Alright, and then after the match, Booker is pissed with the results. Because, Jasper's his boy and everything from Season 1. And we move on with that. Alright, then we see Tatum going in the back. She recruits my boy Shiloh Hill. She's like, hey, have you seen the Coupling? No, not really. And he's in this weird truck area. I don't know what he's doing. And then he gets like a tire iron thingy, spinning thingy. A lug wrench, basically. And then we find out later they go to the parking lot, and he dismantled Izzy Dame's car and a bunch of other cars in the parking lot. And then Robbie E's like, "What are you doing?" And Sean's like, "I can't hear you." And then they're yelling inside the arena, "What are you doing?" We're inside. Weird, wacky, wild shit. I mean, that parking lot's, one of the most dangerous places in all professional wrestling. Shit. Even an indie show, you go to the parking lot, you get, some shit might happen. Anyway, so we got that. Alright, Lexis King and the Birthright. That's Stacks Mahomes and his hot wife, the TNA Knockouts champion, Ariana Grace. And the newest member, Uriah Connors. They don't like that has come to this, but Uriah's dad, which is Fit Finley. I didn't even know that was his dad. I thought David Finley was, Fit Finley's dad. Maybe it's his brother. I don't know. But anyway, Fit Finley, I love the fight. They made a call. They're on their way to the arena with Mr. Regal. Regal! So we got that. Alright, we get to the tag team match with Lexis King and Uriah Connors with Stacks and Ariana Grace at ringside. They take on the reunited No Quarter Quetch crew of Mr. Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, and Tavion Heights. Kind of a mixed bag of garbage. And then, near the end of the match, Fit Finley and Mr. Regal, they come out, stare down, and Charlie does the heinous act. I knew he was going to do that. He didn't need Jannetty, He didn't need Tavion, so he suplexes Tavion to hell on the floor. Throws her back in, and Lexis King hits the coronation. 1, 2, 3 to get the win. And guess what? New member. We get a new member of the Birthright, and that's Charlie Dempsey, obviously. As he leaves with them. So now we're up to 5 now. We got Lexis King, Charlie Dempsey, Stacks, Uriah Connors, and Ariana Grace. 5! Resident Evil 5. I hope that becomes a remake. Oh, we need that. We need that and Code Veronica X as remakes. Bad. I'm just saying. I hope they make Resident Evil 9 Requiem DLC pretty soon. That game was mad short. In my opinion. It was pretty short. It took me about almost basically 24 hours to finish it. I just finished it on Incinerary mode, the hardest mode in the game. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. But, got most of the achievements, got most of the platinum trophies, but, because I'm good, that's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, after the match, Charlie Dempsey poses with, the Birthright, and that's that. Alright, like I mentioned before, Shiloh, puts, the Culkling's car on blocks, and the other cars are going off. Shiloh is holding the lug wrench, hands it to Robbie E. And the Cookling's pissed. We got that. Alright, then it's time for this guy, my cousin, ladies and gentlemen. Cuz! Get in here, cuz. Come here. What? Easy with the shoulder. Okay. Thank you. My cousin Tony D'Angelo, ladies and gentlemen, who's gonna cook me some chicken parm tonight for $2. You want some chicken parm? From Tony D, you go to this restaurant, you gotta pay $10.50. Suckers. Because that's my actual legit cousin. Anyway, he comes out, talks about returning to NXT, said he had not one, but 2 missions. First one ended at Vengeance Day when he finished off Dark State by beating Dion Lennox. And they are now what he was before, broken, looking for answers, and my cousin has buried that version of himself, and now it's time to go back after the NXT title. He has no issues with Joe Hendry, but if he has to break his face, he's gonna do it. You know, that's how Italians do. We don't like you, we will break your face. And he says this is personal, because Joe has what Tony D wants, and that's the NXT World title. Simple to the point. Simple to the point. So, hopefully my cousin gets that title shot at Stand and Deliver, wins it, and holds it for a very long time. And we got that. Alright, 3 out of 5 stars for that. And the match before that was 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, ladies' locker room we go to. We have some nice hot ladies. Sol Ruca, the Wrestling Surfer Girl, and Lola Vices. They praise each other for their wins. Pretty much. Well, Lola's win in NXT Underground. And all that. They praise each other. Want to face off at Stand and Deliver for the NXT title. Well, Sol has to win that match next week in Houston. But she has to get through Zarya. Or Delta. And Jacy Jayne. So see what happens with that. Alright, then Miles O'Connor, Ozzy Osbourne asks my girl Maddie Wankowski and the Evolve Women's Champion Kendall Gray, they've seen Joe Hendry, and they try to take him over to the refrigerator, say his name, and he appears, and they find a cake. Oh, wonder whose birthday it is. Then Joe Hendry pops up from another part of the room. He says him and Miles need to talk strategy, so they go to leave. And then Maddie goes to leave, and then Kendall is using her hand to devour that cake. I'd like to have her cake, if you know what I mean. Oh, you. Hit me up on Twitter there, Kendall. Tell him Maddie sent you. She knows who I am. Alright, after that, so I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get the Sol Ruca, the Wrestling Surfer Girl, taking on Lainey Reed of Fatal Influence with the NXT Women's Champion Jacy Mahal, Jacy Jayne, and the Speed Women's Speed Champion Fallon Dunkor to the Don Henley. Alright, so we got that. Pretty decent match. I thought we're gonna see Delta come out and beat up Sol Ruca or any member of the Fatal Influence, but we didn't get that. We get to the end, and Sol Ruca hits a jumping X Factor. And then a spinning beach break. Wonder who she found that from. Near fall out of that. Goes for the Soul Statue, gets broken up. And a crucifix bomb. Ow. Sends Sol Ruca into the corner. She avoids the running knee. Then she hits the Soul Snatcher. Snatched her soul. And Sol Ruca gets the win over Lainey Reed in just under 13 minutes. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. Nothing after that. We move on. Alright, then we go to Robbie E's office, where we have the men's speed champion, Pepe Le Pew Idiot Le Fleur. Oui. Talks to Robbie E about Eli Knight or Sean Legacy getting a title shot. And Robbie E's like, I don't know about that. I don't know what to do. Triple threat maybe? Why not? And then the Vanity Project come in, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Brett Baylor and Smokes, and the Evolved Men's Champion, Jackson Drake. They come in, they want a big match at Stand and Deliver, but then Sean Legacy says, hey, we want to fight you guys next, with Eli. So Eli and Sean Legacy possibly getting a tag team title shot, or a match with the Vanity Project. That's Baylor and Smokes. Do I like it? No, don't care. So 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Moving on. Alright, another person who wants a big match at Stand and Deliver, and that's the girl who beat the shit out of Gina Pucker, and that's my girl, Blake Monroe. Oh my. She wants a big match at the pay-per-view. Tatum Paxton comes in looking for Izzy. She leaves. Blake says, I want your North American title. So I want my title back. So Tatum's got some targets on her back, one being Izzy, and now another one being the former champion, Blake Monroe. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And the men's segment I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go to the women's speed tournament finals. We got my girl Maddie Winkowski taking on Thea Hale, after what happened with those idiots in the IWC. And check out my rant on my rant channel. Legendary on that. So I was pulling for Thea to get the win, even though it's my girl Maddie, but still. Kendall Gray at ringside, and short match because speed matches are short, like 3-minute matches. Did I say 3 minutes? Yeah. This match ended at 1:55, and they go to the outside. 2 minutes to go. They get back in. Thea goes for a high cross body. No water in the pool for you, Missy. She missed that, but grabs the Kimura lock. Maddie goes right back with a final wrench or cattle mutilation a la Nigel McGuinness. And sadly, Thea Hale tapped out. So Maddie goes to the finals. She will face off against Fallon Henley for the Women's Speed Championship this Tuesday night in Houston. And that's pretty much it. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then Robbie E, once again in his office, has the entire tag team division. And he makes a tournament of fucking tournaments to crown a new #1 contender to the Vanity Project's NXT tag team titles. So everybody's there like Hank and Crank. But Dark stays there. They want their rematch. They want to invoke their rematch clause without the tournament. And they say, oh, OGM's not even here. But anyway, the Boricua Gangsters, Bronco Nemo, and Lucius Price, they are there. And then they have a big old brawl with them and pretty much everybody else in the tag team division. And then Robbie E says, well, those two teams are out of the tournament. So what? You have 4 teams now. You had a 6-team tournament. Now you have 4. That's sad. Sad. Why have a tournament? Like the speed tournament, you have like 2 matches. Garbage. Go figure it out. I don't know. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright. Fatal Influence. They don't like being reminded about their title matches next week. I mean, JC's got to fight Delta and Sol Ruca, and Fallon Henley's got to face Maddie. Then, speaking of Maddie and Kendall Gray come up, say, we're coming for your titles. Well, Kendall's coming for JC Jane's title if she gets through Sol Ruca and Delta, so we get round 2 for that. Maddie might win the speed title. I wouldn't put it past them, but we'll see. Alright, then, like I said, Robbie E makes the steel cage match between Izzy Hogan and Tatum Paxley for next week. Get that. And then we go to break and come back. Robbie E is in the back with Blake Howard, that new that new guy. Alright, I gotta go to Dynamite. So. Alright, Dynamite has just started. We got that. Alright, so Robbie E hypes up the Houston show, announces that the tag team tournament begins next week, but after the mess, OTM and Darkseid are not in the tournament. Then the Vanity Project come in, thanks Robbie for the week off, but Robbie puts them in a 6-man tag team match against the fake Americanos, that's Ludwig Kaiser, Rayo and Bravo, Pete fucking Dunne, and Tyler Bate. So that's boring next week, so we got that. Alright, so Dynamite's going to start off pretty exciting with Moxley, John Moxley and Claudio taking on Takeshita and Hikaisuno of the Don Callis family. So we got that. Mox is taking on Takeshita in a no time limit match for the Continental Breakfast of Champions title. Alright, we're outside the San Jose Civic Center, where Mox and a masked Claudio, the CMLL World Champion, they're there, and then they're doing some circle jerk Looks like a church. Where we're going to church. Pretty much. Let's go to church. Alright, so the Death Riders are here. We're in the Shafir. The bald idiot William Yuta, even though his hair is coming back really fast. Danny Garcia, the Dancing Fool. Don Callis looks like a thumb. nice sign. I like that. That's funny. Don Callis looks like a deformed penis. But I digress. Alright, we move on with that. Alright, so, like I said, 6-man tag team match with the Vanity Project and the Fake Americanos. That's this Tuesday on the program. We move on. Alright, then Robbie E says, Vic, you can take it from here. And Vic gets up, says he and Booker T were only supposed to be a 2-man team for 3 months, but now it became 3 years. Probably one of the greatest commentary teams in NXT, next to Mauro. Just saying, Mauro is always going to be #1 in NXT. I don't care what anybody says. We need Mauro back. I'm just saying, just keep him away from JBL. Anyway. So next week in Booker's hometown of Houston is Booker T Appreciation Night, and Booker didn't even know about it. That's a good surprise. I was about to say, wait a minute, he can't be in the Hall of Fame, because he's in there twice, by himself and with Harlem Heat, with Stevie Ray, Harlem Heat. So, why not Booker T Appreciation Night? Sucker! Booker's like, oh yeah, man. So he's all giddy and stuff like that. Let me move on. Alright, even before, so, while that was going on, Ethan Page and Ricky Starks were in the ring for 10 minutes. Why? Why do they have to have him there for 10 fucking minutes just to get ready and wait for all this freaking talking? I would get on the mic and say, hey, can we get the match going? I gotta take a piss, you know? Shit. But anyway, main event, Ethan Page and Ricky taking on Miles Bourne and Joe Hendry. Was alright. Nothing great about it. Ricky and Ethan still kind of at odds, and they had that whole thing with the belt. Ricky throws it to Ethan and clear across the ring. Like, he was just a bit outside. And he's like, dude! Anyway, we get to the end, and Ricky and Ethan go old school. They power plaque somebody called FTR, they're stealing their move. For near fall, Miles goes right back, gets the hot tag to Joe Hendry, cleans house, and then until Joe and Ricky hit clotheslines for a double down. And like I said, Ethan throws in the title, which is quickly taken away by the stupid referee, which allows Ethan to grab a fruit roll-up for a near fall. Ricky hits the spear, Ethan with a blind tag, and then Ricky's going for the pin. Referee's like, no, you're not the legal man. And he's like, get out of the way. And Ricky's like, huh? So Ethan like pushes him away, and there was Miles hit a drop kick to knock Ricky outside, but then Ethan hits Twisty Green on the champ Joe Hendry. 1, 2, 3 in a little over 11 minutes. They get the win, and Ethan pins the champ. You know what that means? He gets a title shot. So Ethan, Joe Hendry for the NXT World Title, most likely will happen at Stand and Deliver, and then Ricky might face Miles for the North American title. Okay. Alright, we got that. Alright, good match, 3 out of 5 stars, and then afterwards, we get one more rundown of next week's show. And then they go back into the ring. Ricky and Ethan are opposing. Ricky's like, I don't know about you, man. I'm a little bit worried about you. I'm worried, And then Vic says, Ricky just realized that Ethan did what he couldn't do, and that's pin the champ. He's right. Facts. Oh, we got tweets. So we got that. Alright, so NXT, decent show. I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment down below. We can do your own video if you like, but hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the bell for more. Hit the like button and all that other good shit. And that's that. Alright, I am out of here. I'm going to watch some Dynamite, then have my sensible dinner, maybe go to bed early. I might get the Raw review up later tonight on my main channel, Kill Demon 669. Tomorrow, we will talk about Dynamite and get you ready for TNA and Ring of Honor tomorrow. And then we got SmackDown on Friday. Should be a good show there as well. And then Saturday, we don't have Collision Saturday. And we got Triple R, Rey de Reyes. I'm not doing predictions for that. But I will be doing predictions for Revolution on Sunday afternoon with the review Sunday night. It's going to be a long night because that pay-per-view is going to go at least 5 hours. No, but Tony Khan will be 6. But we got that. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. And until next time, if you're not down with that, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! That's it. But until next time, peace.